Hey folks, welcome back to my stream after a long time. So apologies, I have been deep in work and the long horizon hardening, and there were many bugs that I had to overcome, and the issues of provisioning TPUs, uh, like the TPU V6E64. I tried uh, TPU V6E32, but I had no luck in both the zones from the TRC grant that is provided to me. So I settled on the TPU V6E-16, uh, and in the on one weekend I also did a talk of an hour on the training uh, processes that are required for uh, the long horizon uh, uh, training for the version V2 that we have done. So in that we use the FLIRS dataset and the model and all the activities that we did, including the JAX, including sorry, the orchestration was kind of publicized there. So if I can show you guys again the orchestration, the skills. So uh, I had this orchestration of automatically uh, recovering from a bug or a failed run, or I also put in the orchestration of uh, a failed uh, spot instance being uh, preempted at a specific time. And then there was some skills regarding the recall, the doc style, the orchestrator, the planning, updating the planning, the memories, like how did I add memories to it, because I didn't use the default Claude memories. I designed my own memory system. So this was the kind of memory system that I used. I didn't use claudes.md. I used agents.md, progress, plan, and verify. So kind of this to keep the context fresh. And there were hooks. And as you can see here, at the start of session, compaction, post using of tool, user prompt, some submission and all. So like I have dialed down on this a bit because I kind of find initially when I was playing around with it, it was useful, but it was using too much of my context and the tokens there, and the context was being like harmed. The context rot was too strong there. So like I dialed down on the hooks, and uh, the orchestrator and the skills are in use right now. And currently the run is going strong. I haven't shared it publicly yet, but as I think the run is going fine, I might be tempted to share it. So this is the long horizon. This is a round two run. The round one had some uh, issues with respect to the curriculum onsets. like that you see here, as you can see from the notes here, the curriculum onset, the from step one, the CB0 plus CB1 begins, but from CB2, CB3, CB4, CB5, there are some, like you can see CB2 starts at 1579 steps, CB3 starts at 3157, so there are certain intervals here, and what you need to do is uh, like the onset training and the audio loss kind of jumped up, and I had to add a couple of metrics there to see that the metric, uh, the onsets were according to the plan, and because we haven't trained that far in the smoke that we did, and after a long horizon run for 9K or 10K steps, yeah, we kind of received that, and we drilled down to the issue what we had. So that is why I was unable to stream for a week or so, because I had totally uh, embraced or like myself in trying to fix those issues, and I didn't want uh, everything to come out half baked just yet, because I wasn't sure which instance and what the issues were going to be. So, uh, these are the chart types. So you can see here the audio generated, the audio source, and the audio targeted. Audio target uh, generated too, that I have included. So after I share a link, you will be able to just on the audio generated or all the three, put in the click in the negative or the plus uh, signs for going previous step or next step, and you will be able to see the audio generated at that point. Here the maximum audio generated is 3309 for the 55K. I don't know what the actual indexes are, because it tries to generate at every 5K steps. So for 55K, there may be 10, 11. Let me see. 299, 600, 901, 1202, 1503, 1804, 2105, 2406, 2707, 3008, 3309. Yeah, so it looks about right. As you can see, I have included everything, uh, so that you might have a clue of how the training is progressing aside from the logs itself. Uh, the graphs are good. Uh, there are some spikes here on the update weight ratio depth. Uh, this is the hardware, uh, the global steps, and I don't know much about this. These are the individual chips details of HBM peaks. Uh, this is the gigabytes which it is actually using, and uh, duty underscore PCT. I don't know about this. I will have to ask Claude about this. But from the looks of it, this kind of is using 13.5 of the maximum HBM memory. 13.5, 13.6 or something like that. And the, there was a option to deliberately make it less so that uh, on the V8s, like we were having ohms out of memory errors, and on the V16 I did deliberately use I'm think I'm using only half the chip's memory, maximum memory here with each global step. I could have increased, so currently the batch size is, let me try to find out. The global batch is 32, so I could have gone to 48 or something like that, but uh, for this run, this is showing the TPU topology as uh, V6E-8, which is wrong. I'll have to correct it. I think so. There is an option to correct the FontDB topology runs. Let me do it live here. So I figure out. So we were working on these. I will tell you more about the teacher forced metrics that we thought were being used, but it was not. It was like free running, genuinely free running. The TPU topology. That's the TPU topology. TP configs. Uh, yup. Let me try to verify that I'm streaming on Twitch, and yeah, this means I'm streaming. This dreaded error that I'm facing since. In the recordings, it looks fine, but here, due to some partnership agreements that you require, but here, yeah, it is working fine. Let me see the, yeah, 1440p. So the streaming is working fine. Yeah, let me try to explain you guys the audio ARCB0 accuracy. So it is a metric that uh, like there is a GPU variant and a TPU variant one. And since I'm using the TPU variant, so at each demo, at every 5K steps, the demo audio that is generated, the trainer free runs the AR loop for 50 frames. That is for the 4 seconds. So you can see here, majority of the frames are for like the audio frames are for the 4 seconds on the same fixed sample, and the greedy like the cookbook zero from the backbone audio head, and then scores the exact token match against the ground truth target. So like this is the formula. The gen codes from 0 to 50, and it like equals the audio codec, and yeah, this needed to be fixed. Me go to auto mode here, fix this. Yeah, so this actually like it's a kind of a alignment. uh, I do not like exactly know, because uh, this is the first time I'm using this kind of a metric, because I haven't had much experience in the audio generation and uh, kind of measuring the properties of those frames step by step. So uh, this is what it has been logging: 4% to 4%, 8%, and 4% from step 5K to 20K. And uh, this was the question that I asked with respect to uh, how the inherent frame is weak, and it is still right. So this is the kind of free running exact match that degenerates after the first divergence. So this isn't teacher forcing. This is uh, the free running part of it, and it's why it is being used. It is being used for the catastrophic failure detection. Like it catches the silent argmax bug, and The in the first generated live demo, it had read 0% and it emits one repeated token. Uh, for that job, like 4 to 8%, and the stability was healthy there. Uh, like where to look for the real audio quality signals. So these were the some of the metrics that you need to look for uh, the audio quality inside the audio source and the target and the generated triplets, and like why they are being locked, and the validation per codebook log loss, and the validation per composite. So and the post run, we will be using the AASR CHRF plus plus with the GT audio top line. And yeah, I think so. That is a spectrum of metrics that we will be using. And like, yeah, this is fine. This is with respect to the other question, uh, training pipeline. So I had a few questions regarding the stability of the training pipeline and the generated audio sample TPU, this metric, and it starts at all silence. Like I will tell you a bit about that. It starts at all silence and gets only the model's own generated CB0 scattered in frame by frame. And CB1 to 7 comes from a depth decoder call seeded with the generated cookbook 0. Uh, so from CB0, one stream is teacher forced, the text, but the text buffer carries GT text through the generated window. Like that is the known convention here, but not the audio there. The reconciliation, the free running exact matches compounds. So like uh, the for the first generated frame, it matches 38% of the time, and the first mismatch onwards, the model is continuing with its own acoustic trajectory. And the mimi codes are just like one valid acoustic realization of the target speech. So uh, the GT code for the 3 consecutive frames is at p equals 0.38 is around 5%. Let me show you guys the charts there. And this metric, the generated audio sample TPU. Generated audio sample defined where the metric is. Random drift, module, limited, projection. So there are 15 metrics in just uh 53, sorry, metrics in just this section here. And Is there some way to find this metric? How about the regex? Mhm. Okay. Well, it's computed based on PB0 metric. Sorry, CB0 metric. Mm, the teacher forced is valid uh, validation of a per cookbook code book. Sorry, I'm just saying cookbook every time. It's code book. uh, I haven't taken my morning coffee yet. Uh, so the generated audio sample TPU comes from this metric here, and I don't think so. It has been. It is just the generated audio sample. Uh, but let me go into the detail of where actually the metric stands here, where in which section is it actually represented. So it is a function. It outputs land in WNB under the audio prefix. So the ARCB0CC, the demo SEC, and the source, target, and the generated. The audio players, media players, latest step shown by default with step slider for earlier ones. So this is ARCB0ACC only. I don't know why it is being shown as generated. Which is a function, but it shouldn't be shown as a metric here. Okay, so it doesn't actually say it is a function in this paragraph. That's why. The 4% freedom problem computed against teacher forced accuracy. Yeah, so this is how it works out and it looks. And you can see in the 35K, it kind of goes above 0.5 to 0.12 or something like that. And for the 50K, it then drops back down to 0.04. So there's this oscillation that is going on uh, in the in this particular metric. There might be conditions as the different background noises or multiple the the audio spoken audio of multiple people, how it is changing against it, uh, or like the speech or the particular pattern of speaking. There will be maybe multiple factors that affect it. I don't know exactly why this metric, other than the collapsible, like, quality score detector, it is kind of that. So yeah, from that point of view, the uh, metric, if I listen to these two sounds from like the 45K and 50K, where it actually oscillates, let us try to find the actual difference when you this is for 55K.
Her ikisi de iyi bir seçeneğiydi. Eminim ki harika çıkaracak.
This is for 50K. And
Her ikisi de iyi bir şekilde çek. Eminim ki harika bir çıkacaksın.
yeah, so you can clearly hear the difference here. The noise in the 45K is much less, the background noise, and in the 50K it's much more.
Her ikisi de iyi bir seçeneğiydi. Eminim ki harika.
And the clarity of speaking too, there's a huge gap. So that's why the metric, it's kind of oscillates between 0.12 to 0.04. So the audio generated kind of looks at that. There may be a combination of factors, as like, since this is the first epoch of the training run, so uh, I think so uh, multiple sources and audios and like other factors might affect the generated here, or the audio that is generated here. Yeah, I think so. This is fixed. Let me go back. Uh, config. It's the TB topology. It's still saying V6E-8. I think so. Can we edit this? Not here. Can you edit the topology in the current run? In the current 1 DB run? Release meta.tpu topology. It says it has already edited. I think so. I need to refresh it. Oh, the graphs self-edit themselves, but for the config, which is text, I might have to refresh. Yep, at that. Dataset division, get dirty, get SHA. Yeah, ideally, we should have. Yeah, but like for the long horizon runs, when you are giving this, you have to giving this like uh, from a product uh, organization standpoint, you are giving it to the public, so you got to have all those uh, get dirty and get SHA uh, for your if you have bug if you have bugs that you want to replicate, but this isn't that kind of uh, process in which you need to reproduce those bugs or fix them in a long run. So what I will do is add a version 0.3 in the version release itself. So uh, people will be able to see just before the last commit here, just before this commit. Uh, well, because uh, just before this green commit, I will add this to the version release. So there will be a section in GitHub in which you will be able to see the exact commit of this run. What I should do is should ask it to do it right now because the production because the run that I am making here, the long horizon run, uh, uh, could you do one thing here with respect to making the public release of the version, like the version 0.3, as before the commit of this, which you can show on the GitHub homepage. Let me try to open that up quickly. Yeah, so releases. Create a new release. Select tag, select main, release title. Yeah, so this is what I want to do. So let's hope the GH library the has this in the releases. Like there should be some APIs to make this. Also add the WantDB URL. But since there are the certain evals that are needed to be run, and to run that, I will be using GPU. So I will be making certain changes, but I wanted to freeze like the code up until this point, and if somebody wants an exact reproduction of what we have been doing here. I don't know, since it is a branch, will it allow uh, commit to go ahead? Since I think in the new release only, okay, so you have that option of, so what I will have to do is after it is merged to the main, I will have to make the commit. So this is pre-release. This is the E89F D26. Yeah, this looks like this was done 2 days back. Yep, 2 days ago. Okay, so we have the tag here. The releases will only come out when I have a target in the main, because I don't want to. Yeah, this looks good. And the public release here too looks good. The release list and the tag list, everything is in final. Most people kind of skip this, but I think so. This is very important. The main branch didn't protect it. You got to protect the main branch here. I should let it define the rules itself. Quality, signed commits, merge commits, linear history, strict updates, district creations. The block force pushes. I don't think that is required in this branch at the current moment. In this model repository at the current moment, because like we are only two guys that are actively contributing right now. So I don't think so there will be a issue in the near future here. But if there are multiple people, like more than three, then like that's what I follow, the paradigm I follow, because it sometimes comes in the way of committing and making quick edits. This is a different project that I wanted to touch base on, but first let me try to fix this, the long horizon run. As I think this is fixed. You can see the graphs here. The long horizon run is executing beautifully. I think so. It will take for the next couple of yes, I think yeah, yeah. I think so. It should be finished in the next couple of days, because it has finished approximately how many steps? 55k steps out of 55. I think so. It's close to 60k steps right now. So let me ask Claude here, because it will be exact. Since we have all the metrics uh, that we have uh, in the 1DB run. So since it takes in validation cycles, checkpoint saves, and demos, the checkpoint saves in the GS bucket, the Google Cloud Storage bucket, are uh, I think so synchronous. I don't know. But in the Hugging Face repository, which it is parallelly saving, it is asynchronous there. So it will finish in around 36 to 45 hours. Because we also have the early stopping criteria here. So that's what it looks like currently. It's past the halfway. Uh, so the next 2 days should be good too. Let me try to paste the link in the X post of people who wanna delve into it. Could you make a X post uh, with the 1DB URL of the current run, which I will be also posting to LinkedIn? So make a X as well as a LinkedIn post using the headlines of what we are building and the 1DB run that has progressed and what is the ETA like and how people can dive in to learn more. And also include the PR10, the URL of the PR10, so that people can look in the code and get an understanding of what actually the long horizon run hardening looks like. So, should I include anything else here? Uh, I think so. They mistakenly. Oh, she adapted decoder. Hello. I think so. The auto-regressive depth decoder. It is right here. I thought I saw encoder or something like that somewhere. But like I might be hallucinating a bit. There are some specific ways to change the text such that you read it wrong, and from the HTML perspective on the browser it's way too easy. You just have to manipulate the JavaScript. But anyways, we are not going to into the manipulations and the shenanigans that can happen. I will just add a couple more emojis. Or that shouldn't be the case here too. I think so. This should be good to go on. I think so. It didn't include version 0.3, which it should have. Uh, Please include version 0.3 here. And okay, it has. And also include some context relevant emojis. I will remove this pinned post and okay, I should be adding this on the top of this. Quote on quote. Yeah, this will give a nice overview of the hierarchical kind of. Build in public. Should also write that the audio samples are included as well, because many of the people that will be seeing this are kind of uh, would like to hear or would like to feel how their model generates. And so I should have my coffee before going through the next part of the stream because I was making some silly mistakes like cookbook versus codebook versus I don't know what are the groggy behavior. And that's why you guys shouldn't stream or take a meeting right after uh, nap or waking up in the morning. Your mind is still sleeping, your actions won't be as good as you think it should be. And I think so it's good to go here to post. Cool. So yeah, I think so. I wanted to do this for the couple of days, but like I was engaged in an event yesterday, the Hackers Summit, and couldn't dedicate time to it. But the next thing that I'm doing is with respect to the LLM architectures. So uh, let me grab my coffee and then we will discuss more about what are we doing here. So before grabbing my coffee, this is a simple hyperparameter sweep that I'm running on this project. So this is a completely separate project from the project that you just saw, the speech-to-speech pro project. This is a nano GPT on JAX. This is specifically using Akash Kumar Nan's code, the whole code with specifically changes to the scope because we are expanding it in like a major fashion. We are using uh, hyperparameter sweeps. We will be doing some of the checklist items that he couldn't attend to due to time or various other factors. So that's what our goal is right now for like in the LLM architecture series. This is a new series that I'm coming up with, and Nano GPT with on JAX is one of the first architectures that we are experimenting with. Be back in a jiffy. So I wanted to do LR sweeps and momentum warm up too because it's a completely different. It's a completely different hardware that we are focusing on. So, like with respect to the batch sizes and other things, there might be some changes here. So, like while in the Hacker Summit yesterday, I got this. I plan to do this kind of uh, project for a long time uh, since like I present my findings and my research in the local chapters of uh, Lucknow, the GTG and the AI community and the other uh, startups and like the engagements that we have here as well as on online. So like this was one of my pet peeves that I should be doing LLM architectures. Uh, so based on the certain replicating some of the certain uh, famous architectures and making and having a repository that you can directly use with respect to going through the hardening, and like you do not have to care about hardening or if you have the specific configuration of the TPU or a specific other TPU configuration. You just need to change certain parameters and like change a code just a bit with respect to uh, the parallelization strategies that you need to have based on if you have 4 versus 8 versus 16 versus 32 slices, uh, or if you have a different TPU family here, since we are doing it on the V6E. So if you're having a V5E or something like that, so uh, it will be easier to guide people and like come from scratch to see how the different architectures land. So this is just a side project. This has nothing to do with the other projects that I'm doing. Uh, the mechanistic interpretability, uh, the speech to speech, and the other projects that I've done before in the Expedition Aya group. Plus the LID, which I have worked on. So yeah, the thing is, this kind of graph, the hyperparameter sweep graph, looks cool on a projector when you kind of display it on a big screen and like uh, 200 or 400 people watching. So like it looks cool. Like you have those lines across the different that touch the different parameters and like how they land. So from the UX point of view, this kind of graph looks cool and like it delivers. So you might be familiar with the work of Illy, and he has been uh, like you working on J spaces on some of the models here. This is Laguna X.S2. Uh, so you can see here the uh, like the results, the prompt length, and the change in the gradient, and as you can see here, the grouping and the optimizer results here. So he has been putting out these cool new graphs, which I love about mechanistic interpretability, and I'm like on more on Adam W and Adam W soap and others. So that's what I've been inspired by. Since this is on a TPU, since like I won't be able to port everything, uh, but and the hardware requirement will be much higher than the current uh, V16, the V6E16 that I have. So that's one of the results that he is coming up with right now. This is a 520 million model, I suppose. This is a Jalen's JSpace, and he kind of has earlier come up with in the thinking machine inkling 1 trillion model. This is from the specific to the TML model from the Anthropic paper. Hmm, this is two MOEs under the lens. DeepSeek V4 Flash and Kimi K2.5. So he's having kind of quite a quite uh, uh, or I would rather say a huge amount of fun in using training with J spaces and like experimenting on Anthropic's interpretability projects. Yeah, I forgot to mention that like we published the version 0.1 of the blog, so it does not have all is it does not have all the things like you do not have the text teacher forced uh, and multiple like uh, things that if I go into details, like you will find it all in the PR10 that I have worked towards. And the text streaming, like aligned one tokens were there, but uh, it has been just updated. Uh, this kind of graph. So we are working towards like making it up to the standards because like the training and the provisioning and like it took a lot of time. The data generation and other things that we have worked on and what we didn't work on. So this like took a huge amount of time from uh, majority of the two guys that are working together on this. Like you can see based on the projects that on the code repositories that we have had. We have like 9 repositories in which people have contributed. So there's this whole organization, and we have had this 9 repositories, and the data set that we have published, it's quite famous as well. So uh, that's one aspect of that too. And we hope that like with releasing the model uh, as well and releasing the updated code, this will like go on to be viewed much more. Let me give you guys the S2S curated data set. This is English casual. The data set is the 453K. Yeah, like this is like awesome. If you think from the perspective of the uh, small team of size 4 or 5 people, like we created this data set, we had all of this thing or all of these things, and the number of downloads, where is it at? Use dataset settings. I think so. This the dataset downloads get displayed on the right. Yeah, 1.33 million. These are the number of rows. Downloads last month 220, 311. Okay, I think so. We might have, yeah, this four. No, this is the number of 220K. So this, like, this is still high. Uh, because many people are using this. I thought this was 4K or something like that. I think so. There might be. Oh, okay. Uh, there might be some JavaScript errors that, as I've alluded to, that somebody might be making this uh, the numbers diverge a bit, because I am certain I saw 4K. Mm, the downloads. So for this kind of a public release, since like uh, from this small uh, team, this kind of looks good. So we have all the quality control that we did, the text generations and ASR fine tuning that we did, uh, the manifest generation, the scoring, everything. So you can see the contributions of most of the people here. And I don't think so. We have shared the codec fine tuning part of it and the uh, hyperparameters that we benchmarked against the. It's not on the blog with respect to the how we played with the different optimizers. So like Adam W, RA Adam, R Adam, Lion, Prodigy, Scheduler Free, Soap, Adan, Muon, and others. So like we used most of our time in initially in these sort of runs. And like you can look at these sweeps here. uh, this is under tiny simultaneous translation, codec fine tuning, and in the section just below, completed sweeps, Mimi on the Turkish samples, on the 10 hours samples. The mm, let me go to this particular sweep. What was the number? J7OXGZ4P. J7. I cannot see the sweeps here. Categorized. Yeah, I think so. This is the J7OXGZ4P sweep. I guess I will have to correct it all, but this is what it looks like. Let me fix this. So the project that I had, I might have updated it somehow or something like that. I don't know how can that be done after the fact. But the fix is there. Yeah, the links are working fine right now. There was this codec fine tuning project and codec dash fine tuning dash train project. So I think so that might have, yep, that might have added to the, this is codec fine tuning, but this is not we are looking at. We are looking at the codec fine tuning train. We need to look at codec fine tuning tree. We need to look at the sweeps here. Why is it codec fine tuning? Codec fine tuning. Now this goes to codec fine tuning train, but the URL is codec fine tuning. Damn it. What did I do? What did I see? Yeah, I should fix this. The source of all confusions. Yeah, so like this is how we came to a particular, you can say, warm up steps, learning rate, optimizer, EMA decay, disk LR ratio, and other steps. Other like model configuration that we worked on. So I think so. Let me check all the other links here just to see. The Haja evals. Just to double check. Optimizers. Fix start. Codec fine tuning. Codec fine tuning train. I think so. I should make this, deprecate this project, codec fine tuning one, because it has some of the reconstructed trainings that we did. I don't know for exactly because this is for 50K steps. Uh, this is the sweeps. So this goes around for 5k steps. Okay, but like this just has the sweeps, I suppose. Runs, jolly sweep. Yeah, it just has the sweeps. Yeah. So that's the difference. I think so. I should rename the if I rename the project. Uh, fine tuning. Yeah. Sweeps. Let's edit this again. And I do not think like I didn't think of streaming this when I was working on this part, on the sweeps, on the different, trying to figure out the during the initial stages of our project commitment or like the project planning phase. Try to reopen this. Sweeps. It is having some issues, but this brought kind of Mimi HP sweep. No, this wasn't the name here. J7O. Mm-hmm. Here it says null, validation loss. Yeah, there might be some issues. Where does it go towards? I think so. I will need to fix this up. range isn't mentioned here properly. I think so. The reconstruction steps that we took. GPU corrected errors. Yeah, this kind of looks good from my end. Just well, I think so. It goes towards. There might be a problem with the JSON there. The values might not be represented. So like there is this nested issues. Uh, you got to put the numerical values directly instead of a nested JSON. So and other things that is the data pipeline is quite good here. The text collection. So we worked on this data source. These are the Flores, Opus, Daily Dialogue, Topical Chat, and Persona Chat. And yeah, let's look at. I think so. In this zone, there is an issue with provisioning. I think so. I will switch to the other zone. Where's the zone card? Where's the zone card? Zone card I committed yesterday. Let's wait for it to provision. And I was showing you guys the data pipeline, the model, the deliverables, data private. So the sound quality check, yeah, this is important. Yeah, we tested on different factors here. So these were the pre-filter checks that we had, and the ASR scoring that we did to finalize it. This is a private, so I should be showing you guys the demos right now. This will be like we will be making it public once the version 0.3 comes out. Uh, and I don't know about the tiny IAM Moshi backbone. Like I don't know, we if we are using this exact because we have our architecture inside the model folder. So this might be the model repository, I should say. We have everything here. The depth decoder, the LoRa setup, the backbone. Mm, Other than this, West East 1D, I think so. It completes architectures. Let me open a new window and grab those files from this repo. TPU run book, capacity and TRC allocation. I thought I had copied it all here. Capacity, TRC allocation, training, and everything else looks good. So this is on the East 1D. Yeah, East 1D. Not smoking right now. Clones? Uh, why are you cloning the repo? You need to put a tarball into the GS bucket and then extract it from there, as I've alluded to earlier. I didn't think I had to do all of these things again. The instruction set, I think so. I should copy from Claude. I should be. What is the URL of this guy here? Read firmly copulative path. I think so. I will get the absolute path here. What? Yeah, I think so. This should be okay. There isn't one, there is a monitor here, but I should be orchestrating it automatically. Yeah, this is fine. Like it made its own monitor and orchestrator to run four sweeps one after other. But I should be making it from my end here to uh, like the to like uh, fix on the cases of provisioning or like spot preemption suspension like I have done for the other run that is running in parallel right now. Plus, there are other steps that we need to take with respect to saving the uh, checkpoints when the training starts to uh, extended GS bucket as well as to the model repository on Hugging Face. So, and there are other things that the corner cases that needs to be verified, and the notification factor that it is currently delivering here. So I can make it deliver the notifications on my phone as well. So that will also work. So these are all the orchestration patterns and the loops that you need to take care of. These are just the corner cases. There are other things too. If you want to harden it from for fully automated, like you just give it a command, you just like give it uh, command with a simple instruction to execute, like from a OpenClaw or a Hermes agent that you're using, and that should be able to do all of these things. So I haven't like gone to the extent of that, but it would be cool to do that too. Uh, so I think so. We should give it some time to execute, and let me work on the background on some of the other stuff. I thought it was given that you will showcase all the sweeps on 1 dB, but I don't think so that is the case here. Spin up V6E-8 on. Hey, everyone, I will take a leave for now, but I will get back when there is a provisioning capacity for the EU or the US zone available.